Hello, good evening, everyone. We're back again with another vlog. We're back at it again with another recorded discussion for Philippine politics and governance. Now, we are already done. Excuse the goats. We are already done discussing about liberalism, conservatism, and now we will be discussing about socialism. Again, for liberalism, that talks about the freedom of the people. For conservatism, um, it's more on preserving or protecting one's own nation or unsa pang aspect sa society, be it economy, government, etc. Now let us discuss about socialism. So I guess I have already explained somehow about communism, right? So this time, this is all about socialism. So without any further ado, let's start the ball rolling. So sports usually level the playing field through rules and regulations. So let us ponder upon these statements if how are these related to socialism. Now, if sports have rules and regulations for it to be organized, so the government levels the playing field for products through taxation. So we all know that the government can impose taxes to the citizens, to their properties, for it or for the government to raise funds. Now, what are these funds for? So, asa man ni madong ning mga funds di ay? So, let us connect this to socialism. So, there should be an activity on ta. You will be playing longest line. Anyway, how does socialism affect an individual? So, definition of socialism: society collectively owns and controls the means of production, such as machineries, lands, transportation. So later on, let us differentiate communism from socialism. Kaya diba, from what I have said last time, kadong examples na ho, China, North Korea, they practice communism. So unsa may difference sa communism to socialism? Nga for socialism, ikuan man pod, control man pod nila 'di ba ang means of production, same ra gihapon sa communism. So the nation's wealth is equitably distributed to each individual, such as the following: health services, education, and food. So some countries impose a large tax sa ilang citizens kay adto na bawion sa ilang ihatag nga services. So later on natin example of countries who practice socialism. So again, adto ra bawion taas sila og tax pero bawi man pod sa ilang health services, libre ang hospital, wa kay bayaran, education, libre ang education, food. So ang government na magtagsa-tagsa og bahin-bahin sa mga resources. So for socialism, for capitalism, it recognizes that individuals are separate from society and have their own initiatives. So, ang 'di ba ang gipakadak-an man sa kapitalismo kay money. So, each person can like do their own thing nga di sila hiabtan sa government nga ilaharang ways on how to earn money. So mao nang di hilabtan sa government ang kanang mga private properties or businesses naalay regulations or naalay kanang impose nga mga rules para ma-regulate. Pero sa capitalism, again, mas gipakadak-an ang profit or income. So, the individuals are separate from the society because they have their own initiatives as to how are they going to earn income or earn profit. So, mo na sa capitalism. Kwarta ang gipakadak-an. Now, for socialism, it recognizes that a person is not just a mere individual, but an individual who forms part of society. So, without us, a society cannot be formed. So, mo na ang sa socialism. Individuals have to play their parts. So, di ba, sa capitalism, gawas man ang individual sa society. Now, karon sa socialism, ang individuals kauban sa society, kita ang mo form sa society. So examples of socialism. So Sweden controls majority of businesses. It provides free education for kids from 6 to 19 years old. So, i-differentiate na lang nahodan ang communism ag socialism para di mo maglibog. So, both communism and socialism, they both reject capitalism. So, di jud sila anang kapitalismo. Kay, di ba sa kapitalismo, kay magpadakuay man og kwarta or profit ng mga individuals for their gain, para sa ilang own advantage. Now, ang goal sa communism is a classless society. Meaning, dapat pantay tanan, why dato, why pobre. Mao nang ilahang means of production, especially kanang kuryente, tubig, food, health services, education. Ang government ang magunit kay sila na ang bahalang magbahin-bahin para sa mga katawhan. Same with socialism, nga na pod ang goal sa socialism man, equity kanang pantay ang tanan. The difference is ang communism mas strict sila nga kanang i-reject jud ang capitalism. Di jud sila musugot nga naay kanang ay di sila musugot if why government intervention with economy. Dapat jud ang government may magda sa tanang field, right? For communism, i-reject nila totally ang capitalism. So sa Sweden, education ang gi-distribute equally for their government. For Algeria, it mainly controls the economy. In turn, it gives heavy subsidies to the healthcare system. So, kay kontrolado man sa Algeria ilang economy, so ang government mamawi para sa kanang healthcare sa mga tao. So, libre hospital, libre tambal, why corrupt, di pareha sa PhilHealth nga kay ang ani man sa Philippines, no, dagko og taxes or I mean dagko og kaltas. Say for example sa PhilHealth, dagko og kaltas ang mga nanarbaho. Unya kanang ang ma-free bitaw hinuon for their healthcare services. Kaya ang katong mga pobre, katong mo refuse og trabaho, katong way patrabaho di mangitag trabaho. Nagsaligra sa gobyerno, gi-baby manggod nila no ang mga poor kana bang hatag ra na why in exchange ang wa sila i-exchange nga service ba. Baw, dapat mag socialism na ta. Char. So again, it's sad to know or it's really sad ang reality nga dagkog kaltas sa mga working people. Unya ang ma-free katong mo refuse og trabaho bisag naman tay kaya mo trabaho. Di man ta tungkol. So how does socialism address those problems? So again, for socialism, ang government i-control ang primary means of production as well as other services nga ikahatag sa government. Tagko sila i-collect from the people and then sila na or ang government na ang magbahin-bahin para sa tanan for it to be equal. So example, we have Sweden and Algeria. Now, we have principles of socialism. So first, we have here Social equality. So, social equality focuses on eliminating unfair treatment of the marginalized. That's why kanang i-collect tanan sa government kay i-distribute equally para why unfair treatment for the less fortunate individuals. So social equality, it is unique to socialism, equal circumstances and results in cooperation. Next, we have community. So, 'di ba, for socialism, the individuals compose a society. So, for socialism, we have community. It shapes the identity of an individual. Kay where an individual grows, syempre ma-influence man na sa iyang community, right? So it is a bond to another person, experiences and interactions, and we also form social groups in our communities. So relationship with individuals. That's how communities are formed. Next, we have cooperation. Cooperation leads towards the good of the community. Kay if everybody cooperates, everybody is happy. So cooperation develops concern for other people. It avoids conflict, aggression, and selfishness. If everyone cooperates, then there are no conflicts. Unsa ganitong kanang compromise and I forgot. Di ba naman tayo impang compromise for us to agree. So ma-avoid ang away-away if we all cooperate. So social class. Socialism aims to eliminate or narrow the gap between the social classes. So I guess it is really impossible to eliminate or to have a classless society. Kaya we all know na aman joy dato na pobre or if ma-achieve jud na nga why class social classes good for them, pero if di man gani ma-achieve, at least manarrow or mas maduol ang gap between the rich and the poor. So 'di ba, for social classes we have high class, middle class and low class society, 'di ba, if kanang social classes in a society. Now, again, aim sa socialism, mawa ang social classes or if di man gani mawa, at least manarrow ang gap between them. Dool ra ba? Di nga na kalayo ang pobre or dato. Dato de or da pobre. Na wrong ko, girl. So, social class group because of common social and economic status. We have proletariat or the high class sa society or working class and bourgeoisie, middle class. Pareha man ni silang working or so again, proletariat man ang higher rank, bourgeoisie sa lower rank sa society. Nag-start ni sa Karl Marx Communist Manifesto. So again, goal ana sa communism to have a classless society. And ang socialism dai more siya gianak or na form because of communism. So socialism is like a less strict nga communism. Mo reject og capitalism but not totally. Common ownership. So it resolves competition. Kay if common or if we have communal properties, wa may mag-ilog. Kay common para man sa tanan. So common ownership property that produces wealth, property that can be used in production. So, 'di ba, ang government man ang mag-control sa means of production, meaning ang tanan ang nanag-iya na. So, why competition mahitabo? Kay equal man sila. Next, so among the principles of socialism, which do you think is the most difficult to attain in the Philippine society and why? Everything? Char. Ponder with this question. So, we have variations of socialism. We have democratic socialism. It seeks reforms, changes only, and for communism, it seeks revolution. So when we say revolution, overthrowing of kanang leaders, if mag-revolt kanang i-rejected nimo ang ilahang rules or ilahang pamaagi. So revolution is like bloody. So for socialism, changes lang, di nga na ka-heavy. So socialism aims for government positions to implement reforms, again changes only or amendments. For communism, it aims to completely change the structure of government to ameliorate working conditions. Same raman sila nga ang goal is change. Galing lang sa socialism, amendments lang, reforms lang. For communism, lahi na jud nga form of government ilang gusto, or kana i-reject jud nila totally ang capitalism. Kay sa socialism pwede raman nga ang government mo kanang naay government intervention sa economy, like makapataw og rules or maka-impose og taxation sa socialism. Now for communism, tanan jud nga means of production gunitan sa government. So mauna. Philippines, which of the two major tests of socialism do you think will be more effective in our country, and then why? So is it democratic socialism or communism? So we have the historical context of socialism. First, we have Robert Owen. So he pushed for a utopian community. Utopia means like a happy place, classless society. So kept children 10 years and below from working. So iyang gi-reject ang child labor. It required only 10 hours per day of work. Kay diba sa una, during the industrialization, scientific revolution, the world wars that happened, nagkuwang sila og tao, mao ng mga bata, kanang mga bata gipang forced labor, and then grabe pa jud ang working hours adto. So kani si Robert Owen iyang gipush nga mao ni for the working community to be less strict, kanang chill ra gud unta. You also have Charles Fourier. Is this Fourier? So again, he pushed for a utopian community, again classless society or gapon. Imagine a community where people are self-sufficient and organized. Thought that private individuals can invest in the economy. So still classless society, pero iyaha is more on individuals. Karl Marx, so the Communist Manifesto, again aning Communist Manifesto gigol gihapon ng classless society. Kay sa una man good ang mga proletariat ilahang gi pahimuslan, ilang gi-exploit ang mga bourgeoisie. Mao nang naay like nagkontra ang bourgeoisie and proletariat. So Karl Marx proposed for a classless society. So capitalism as the root cause of the sharp divide, kay 'di ba if magpadato ay mao man jud nay makaingon nganong naay poor, naay rich, nganong naay maningkamot to gain more, manong naay uban mag-take advantage para mas dako sila kita, na matamak-tamakan na ng mga pobre. So, mo na, capitalism is the root. So, collective control of the means of production away from the bourgeoisie. So, again, ang magkanang control ang government. Next is Frederick Engels. He supported Communist Manifesto also. Kani sila duha ni Karl Marx ang kanang nag-push jud aning communism. So he provided the scientific basis for Marx ideas. So scientific proof. So socialism spread to African, Asian, and Latin American countries. Class struggle was not the focus. Their focus was the anti-colonial struggle. They were basically concerned with their daily conditions. Kaya again, during the colonial period, di ba, gipanamastamasan man ta sa mga colonizers. So, ang gipush adto nga time was not class struggle, but anti-colonial struggle kay gipahimuslan man ta nila. So, during those times, giaim na to nga dapat fair ilang treatment, whether you are one of the colonizers or you are one of the members of the colonies. So, liberalism, socialism, communism. Liberalism maximizes capitalism. Socialism, it improves capitalism. So, again, sa socialism, they may reject capitalism, but then again, di sila strict. Pwede ra sila ma-impose of regulations. Communism, i-overthrow, i-reject niya totally ang capitalism. Liberalism follows free market economy. Katabit ang there should be no government intervention. Itong free hand economy, mo di ba na ang sa liberalism. Socialism used mixed economy, so pwede sila mo follow sa liberalism, pwede po sila sa communism. So, in between. Next, communism, it imposes state collectivization. Again, collective ang mag-own. Ang state ang mag-own sa mga primary means of production. Ang state ang mag-control, kaya ang state ang mag-divide equally for the constituents. So for comparison with other ideologies, so for liberalism, it allows private property. So, diba, there is no government intervention with the economy, or if naaman gani intervention, less lang. For socialism, it surrenders private property that generates wealth to the government. So, ang isurrender ra nga private property kay kadtong mga property nga makahatag og wealth para sa government. So, say for example, kanang electricity kintahay, if private ang nag-own sa or nag-control sa electricity or sa water bakaha, i-surrender na sa government. Kanang mga means of production, mo ni ipang surrender sa government kay ang government ang mag-control. For communism, it surrenders all private property, be it your land or unsa pa diha nga private property nimo, basta tanan private property adto sa government. So di tawgon nga private property kundi communal property, kay ang government man ang mag-control sa tanan for communism, just like North Korea. For socialism, ang isurrender sa government kay kadturang mga maka-generate og wealth para sa government. For liberalism, it allows private property less government intervention. Liberalism maintains class divisions, so naay dato na pobre depende sa pagpaningkamot. Socialism, it eliminates, or if di man ma-eliminate, it only eases class divisions. So if impossible nga mahimong classless ang usa ka society, at least again manarrow ang division between the classes. And for communism, it totally eliminates class divisions. Why dato, why pobre, why higher class, why lower class, pantay ang tanan. Government ang magbuot and mag-distribute for all the resources para fair. For liberalism, it sees the state as a neutral arbiter. Socialism, it regards the state as a representation of the common good. And for communism, it uses the state as an instrument to ease class conflict. So again, liberalism, di ba, they allow us to do the things that we do as long as we know our limitations, we know when to stop. So, di ba, sa liberalism, you are a rational thinking animal. So, you do you. You do you. So, matuman imong pagbot, tinhi sa yuta mayon sa langit. But then again, there are limitations. Di ba, freedom is not absolute. It is limited. For socialism, again, representative lang ang state or ang government para sa kaayuhan sa tanan. Again, less strict ang socialism kesa sa communism. So, the government can intervene. So, pwede mohatag og intervention ang government para sa kaayuhan sa tanan. Now, for communism, again, ang government ang kanang magpawa or to eliminate classes. So, ilaha is classless. All are fair. So, liberalism, it views human nature as intrinsic to the individual. Socialism regards human as social creatures. And still, for communism, it regards humans as social creatures. So, for liberalism, innate na. Naana na to. Kahibaw ta kung unsa ta. Kung unsa atong purpose. Or mag-unsa ta. Di ta butan. We have our freedom to we have the freedom to become who we are, basta lang kay nine limitations. So for socialism, again, di ba sa socialism, individuals are part of a society. Ang individuals ang mag-compose sa society. So sa capitalism, di ba, kay pasagdaan ka to have your benefit. I mean, to gain what are pasagdaan ka to gain what you deserve. So, if kayod ka, grabe imong panarbaho, syempre, ma-rewardan ka. Pero naaman siya manarbaho og minaro. Hay nako. People. So, liberalism believes everyone is born equal. Socialism considers equality fundamental in a society, Still, communism, considers equality as fundamental in a society. Again, for socialism and communism, same ilahang goal. Classless. Way mulabaw, way madaog-daog. Same ra. Ang socialism lang is less strict. Pwedeng na ay intervention, pwede sa di, mixed ang ilahang economy, pwede silang mupataw og mga interventions, pwede pod nga i-own jud tanan sa government, but it's less strict. Again, ang socialism na born lang or na exist because of communism. Communism, it overthrows capitalism. It wants revolution, di lang reforms. So nga na. Liberalism, Everyone is born equal. And you do you. Ikaw na magbuot. Di ka hilabtan, but as long as you know when or what are your limitations. So, an activity, let us have a recap. So, socialism, a system wherein the people own the means of production, while the result of the production is proportionally distributed to the people. It is the response to the harsh conditions in a capitalist society after the Industrial Revolution. Again, its goal is to eliminate the social classes, or if not eliminate, just to narrow the gap between the social classes. So, ang mga means of production i-own sa government. So, it is a communal property para sa kadaghanan. I-distribute para sa kadaghanan. 5 principles of socialism: social equality, community, cooperation, social class, and common ownership. 2 major types: democratic socialism and communism. Socialism less strict, communism mas stricto. There are, there are also famous people who were founders of communism or socialism. Most famous ones are Karl Marx and Frederick Engels. We also have Owen and I forgot the other one. Basta, famous one jud is uh, famous for communism slash socialism is Karl Marx and Frederick Engels. Again, same ra ang socialism and communism in some ways. The thing is, communism, it overthrows capitalism, rejected niya ang capitalism, and then it seeks revolution, changes jud ang ganahan sa communism. All private properties are owned by the government, so there is communal property. Why mag-own of private property? Why mag-own of private property? And for socialism, again, it's less strict. Pwede siya mixed ang ikoan, pwede siyang mo impose og principles from liberalism mixed with communism. So, same ra gyapon nga ang mga means of production is controlled by the government and then will be distributed by the government fairly. So, kadto just like Algeria, so dako ag taxes sa mga tao pero adto man pod igo sa ilang health services. Equal man ilang health services para sa tanan, way dato way pobre. And for Sweden, adto pod ihapak sa ilang education. Mabawi ra, di unfair, di parehas sa char. So if you have questions, feel free to send me a private message, and maybe tomorrow I will be sending another political ideology which will focus on communism. So adios.